Hello, welcome everybody. We're chatting today to Claire Moore, who is the founder and owner of Believe and Achieve UK, and wanted to chat with Claire today to share her experience of working with Media Matchmaker and Blueberry Media in literally just the last 6 to 8 weeks, really. So welcome, Claire.
Hi.
Thank you so much. It's just great because it's really, for somebody that was kind of new to PR, I think you've done a little bit of radio, but it is just great because I wanted to hop on because you've done so well. You've secured, I think we just before we started recording, you said 4 interviews, 4 written pieces and 2 radio interviews. So it'd just be good to share with people how that came about and what it was like for you and how you approached it, so people can try and learn from your success. So tell us, what was your first kind of, what started you with PR first? Let's start there. What was it you were trying to achieve?
So we had to close the gym on March the 20th. Obviously a scary time, like it was for everybody. We went online, but we were really unsure when we could open and what it would look like when we did open. And I thought, well, I'll use the time to kind of find out more about a variety of things. And you were speaking at the Sheffield Expo. There was a little online program there. So I watched that and I thought, oh, and I kind of started to think that there's 2 ways. When things are going not wrong, but when things are going differently as planned, you've got 2 options. You can either retreat and sort of play it safe, or you can just go for it and kind of just see what happens. And I kind of thought, well, do you know what? If we're going to be finished, I'm going to go out with a bang. I'm going to throw everything I've got at this situation and see what happens at the end of it. I thought, now's the time to start doing some PR. So I'd seen your talk, we had a chat, and I thought, just sign up, just do it and go for it, because we don't know what's going to happen, so we might as well just give it a go.
Yeah.
So then so we all signed up. You did the training, and we had a few little sessions.
Yeah.
I did the intro email that you recommend. You know, hi, I'm Claire, and so on and so on. I've got to be honest, I felt pretty sick hitting send, because it was just. I mean, I just had that constant feeling of, why would these national journalists have any interest in me and my tiny gym and my 2-person band? That I just couldn't get it in my head why they would be interested, and I just thought, I'm bothering all these people.
And it was because, so just to give people so you have access to a media database so that you can search for the right type of journalists that are right for you, and you can send them emails or press releases, and we give you a templated introductory email for you to adapt and be inspired by, and that's what you were sending out. And everybody feels sick, by the way, Claire, when they send the first ones out. I even still feel sometimes now when I email journalists, and we all feel like that. So you sent this out, but it was really the reason why they wanted to hear from you is because it was newsworthy, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I'll be honest, when I first sent that, the intro email didn't get anything.
Okay.
So that went out. Then I went onto your course. It's the 6-week
publicity
press
challenge.
Release. And I'll be honest, I jumped straight to week 4 and how to write the press release.
Yeah.
And I just watched that, and that was really helpful. There was a lady on there, and she taught you through exactly how to kind of put a press release together. And you know, it took me a while. First of all, I couldn't think of anything to put. Then I had like too much to put. So following the format was really helpful. Yeah. Then when I sent that press release out, that's when things started to get a little bit more exciting. So it was an article on why small gyms will thrive after lockdown. Brilliant. So it was newsworthy. It wasn't salesy. So I think a lot of people kind of thought it was interesting at the time. So I got that in the local Sheffield Star. I got it in Gym Owners Monthly, and it got me on the radio another time for that. So that was cool. And that was during lockdown, so that was a little boost.
So that was literally within a few weeks of you joining, wasn't it? So you followed the system and kind of had the confidence with it, and it was all very timely. So how did your radio interview go? Because I know you were a bit nervous about that because of a past experience, which, you know, it's how did that go for you?
Do you know, it was fine. Yeah, I mean, I built it up to be so. I mean, it was a couple of minutes because of the way things were. It was on the telephone. They just called up, and I think it's important to remember the journalists and the radio guys, they don't want empty silence. So they're brilliant at asking you questions, and as soon as you pause, they'll ask another question, and they kind of make it flow and work, and they're just friendly and want a few little pointers. So it was fine. But yes, I had I'd really messed up on an interview before I met you. I couldn't hear the guy properly when I was speaking. It just felt awful.
But
Yes,
you probably didn't. It was just that you became aware of it, so therefore it's even more scary the next time. And I know your fear was that they would almost remember you, but I bet you they didn't, did they? You know, and they just
it was
they
the same
just
person. Yeah. And do you know what? If it hadn't been for them being in the media database, I don't think I would have ever contacted them again because I was so embarrassed.
Isn't it mad though? But we all got to learn somewhere, which is great, and that's why all the training's in there to help you. In terms of then the when they picked up on your press release, did they just pick up the press release as it was? Did they go on to interview you from there? How did that work?
When it went in the article, like the Sheffield Star and the Gym Owners Monthly, it just went in as written. So that was kind of, I thought, oh, well, I must have written it okay. So that was another confidence boost. And then the interview on the radio, it was just about how you're coping with, you know, not being open and not knowing when you were open, because it was before we had an open date. So it was just a general chat, really. So that was fine.
And how did they kind of intro and outro you? Did they say your company or put your website, or how? Because I know we teach you in the press releases to tell, not sell, you know, but you have to still get your key messages across of what you do. So did you mention that you were the MD or the owner of the gym? Did they put any reference to your business?
They did that. They were just saying, now I was speaking to Claire from Believe and Achieve up in Hackenthorpe. And then when we were finishing, thanks very much, that was Claire from Believe and Achieve in Hackenthorpe. So it got mentioned a couple of times. So yeah, it's brilliant publicity in the local area.
Fantastic. So tell us about your other stuff that you've had then, because you've gone on and it's just kind of snowballed for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, so then I was a bit stuck. I was like, well, I've sent the intro email and I've done a press release. What do I do now? And there was another one of your sessions, and you said, well, every so often, once a month, send them a email saying, this is happening at the moment. I can write about this, 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 and this, add your bio into it and send it off. I thought, right, I'll give it a go. Still felt very nervous. But then the editor from Your Healthy Living magazine got back in touch. And even though she said, oh, this isn't on your list, but could you write me 600 words for how to train outdoors? I was like, yes.
I never think.
So that's it's a monthly magazine. It's free in natural health shops. But I think there's 100,000 copies around the country that go out. So I was buzzing from that already. And then Woman magazine got in touch. And this was really interesting, because this was a journalist who was really panicking. I need somebody who can give me some quotes on core strength. Are you there? I was like, yeah, what do you need? Got it back to her within the hour. She's like, you're a star. Thank you so much. It'll be out on the 11th. And I think what I learned from those two experiences was how grateful the journalists were. I was helping them do that job. So that previous feeling of me, like, oh, I'm bothering people. Why would they want to hear from me? That kind of eradicated, really, because actually I helped them to do their job. So it was a win-win.
Yeah, and it's so true, and everybody's so nervous. But if you think about all the PR agencies do a fantastic role. They're sending press releases all the time on behalf of their clients. That's how they get coverage. We just need to do the same, and it is just having something topical or timely or newsworthy. And like you say, then they just jump on you, and that lady then contacted you because she had a specific story in mind, and you put your details in, right time, right place.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. And they genuinely are so grateful, aren't they? And it kind of switches your mindset with it, really, which is why I wanted to do this interview, because everybody, you know, we're all watching this. We've all got to start somewhere. And it is scary, isn't it? It's scary when you first push that button to send something out. But they're just human beings, aren't they?
Yeah. What's the worst that can happen? They just ignore it.
Exactly. You sound like me now. Yes.
But yeah, that also, I've got to write something for fitpro.com, which is a big magazine in the fitness industry on the business. I also got a lot, this was interesting, this was an eye-opener. I got a lot of bloggers get back to me. Yeah, you can write something, but you need to pay me. I wasn't aware of that. So that was a learning curve.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that from a blogger's point of view. I'd have thought they'd wanted the content. I know that's with trade magazines. Sometimes, and again, you're more B2C rather than B2B, but certainly from a B2B, from a trade press point of view, when we send press releases out, because they make their money through advertising, they'll get the advertorial department to contact you to say, you know, we'll charge you a picture insert or something, or they'll charge you to put it in. So I am aware of that, but didn't realise with the bloggers. But again, it's your choice then. You can turn it down and say thanks, but or there might be something that would, it might be absolutely amazing for you to just pay 100 quid, 200 quid or whatever it was. But yeah, it's an eye-opener, isn't it?
One thing that I did differently, and I don't know if this had any effect at all, but when I sent I can help with fitness, health and fitness, and I got the people back to it, I sent a professional photograph of myself with it. Did that make a difference? I don't know, but I'll certainly keep doing it, because that was, it was good to get the response from that.
No, I think it's definitely good to put a photo, and this is the reason why, is because the media outlet will have their type of customer, their type of reader, and you would probably look like their type of reader. So that's probably why it helps to be able to put that. So like, I know for certain, the Daily Mail have a certain demographic of ladies that they like to interview in female and stuff like that. So, just like you've got your avatar with your business, they've got theirs. So when you put that photo in front of them and say, okay, she's this age group, she looks like this, she's our demographic. So yeah, it certainly can't do any harm. So it certainly does help, absolutely. So in terms of, you've obviously adapted your business, in terms of with what's been going on, you took it all online. You were online anyway in helping, and kind of your strategy is very different. It's not just working in the gym, it's working on the mind as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So we were in the gym. We've got a very small gym in Sheffield, but it's a gym and a classroom. So we do the floor work where we work on the body, and we used to do, we call it the Healthy Lifestyle Club, where we work on the mindset. Obviously, it all went online. The Healthy Lifestyle Club has now remained online. The classroom is now a massive cupboard for all the equipment we're no longer allowed to use, or had to be moved out of the way so that we have the space to get people in. But it's made me look at other ways to keep the business going. So I've developed a 6-week course called the Healthy Headspace Program. So that is purely on mindset, and that can be done by anybody. We're just doing the pilot at the minute, but it's gone really well. So yeah.
Well, again, it's all topical. If you look at Rosemary Connolly this morning, she's literally doing all the interviews at the moment. I don't know if you've seen, and she's doing how to beat the coronavirus and get healthy and lose weight, so you're a healthy version of yourself. So again, she's just adapted what she's doing to make it topical, and it's going through, and you can do exactly the same. So have you been featured in it? Have any of these come out yet? Are they in print or anything?
Just got this handy. So this is the woman. It came out yesterday. That's why it's so handy. It was the article on core strength.
Oh, brilliant! So you're on the front page as well.
Well, yeah, not my name, but the article's there. But it was a 2-page, and then I'm the PT expert in it. So everything's, and Claire Moore of Believe the Chief says throughout the article. So it's cool. Yeah.
Well done. Well done.
And even if it being in here doesn't necessarily get us new clients, it looks bloody brilliant on my social media.
Yeah.
If somebody's looking for a local gym and they're like, well, hang on, that one's been in press and that one's been asked for their expert opinion on certain issues, they must be good.
Absolutely. And also, it's leveraging this now as well, which is, are you coming on the call? Everybody's watching this, but we've got a training call tomorrow, so maybe we can discuss that, and it's leveraging it to making sure that you make the most out of this now, that it goes on your website, that people can see us featured in, it has heard on, it's all building towards, and then it just has a snowball effect that you become a go-to person. And like you say, you're only trying to attract your tribe in the Sheffield area, but if you go online and say you are moving it online, it's going to be absolutely fantastic for you when you do your 6-week challenge thing, that people will believe it straight away. Oh, she must be good because she was featured in XYZ. So perception becomes reality, which is PR. Absolutely. Yeah. So what would you say to anybody that's kind of new to this or is thinking about doing it, in terms of how easy the media database is to use, how easy to get started is? What would you say?
Just do it. Get your list sorted so that they are ready to go. And
that's your media list, isn't it? So that's searching for the right journalists for you and saving those lists, which I help you set up when you get started.
Yeah. So I've got a few different ones now, and depending on the article, and I use different ones there. Tend to avoid the bloggers now, but I've still got a list of them, but we'll see. Yeah. And just don't overthink it. I used to think of it, all these journalists, they're like the big powerful, and it's just teeny tiny me. And actually, it's a very equal partnership. And just you're there to help them. You're the expert in your situation, and they could be. You could just land on their desk in their inbox at the right time and be the perfect person, and it's just win-win. And the worst is, they delete and ignore.
And
so
that, and
try
that's
again next month.
And I love what you just said as well. It's an equal partnership, because
Yeah.
it is, because you're just as equal as the big gyms, aren't you? What you've got to say is just as valid. So they're not viewing you. And sometimes I think they want an independent, they want a real expert, they want a real person, as opposed to maybe Virgin Gyms or something, you know. So you are on an equal playing field when it comes to PR against other businesses, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. And I think especially now with the way things are, with the trouble that small businesses have got to survive, that I think the media maybe want to help small businesses a bit more, and hear from the people who are really in it and working on it, not just the suits managing it all. So yeah, just go for it. Just press send.
Well done, because I know at the beginning, you know, like for anybody, you know, when we're a small business owner, and it's still a commitment. I know it's so much more cost effective than a PR agency. You know, it's hundreds rather than thousands of pounds every month, or, you know, it's still a commitment, and it still was a concern for you, wasn't it? But can you see that it's paid off for itself, and it's like working?
It was I mean, my business was closed, you know, basically. So it was a huge concern financially. But I kind of thought, look, if I'm gonna, like I said, if I'm going out, I'm going out fighting, and I'm just got to just chuck everything I've got at this. So the brilliant thing about the cost, but it makes me do something every month, because that's a big part of my budget. So if I don't actually use the database for a month, then I've just wasted that money.
Yeah.
And I'm not in a position to do that at the moment. So it makes me that, right, just send another email saying you can help. And you never know. Some months it might not bring anything, you know, I'm in Woman magazine. So yeah, sometimes you've got to just go for it and see what happens.
Well, so far so good, and thank you for sharing, because it was just lovely to see. You know, you've been sending the emails, and you've got here and you've got there, and then, you know, you catch up on the meetings, and I've just achieved this. So it's brilliant, and it's great because you're just a normal business owner working hard, trying to get publicity like everybody else. There's no secret to you. You haven't had proper media training or anything like that, other than what we've helped you with.
No, absolutely nothing. No, past radio shows will vouch for that.
You know, amazing copywriter or anything like that, or you know.
No. I do enjoy writing. That probably is. That's why I go more for the writing than the radio. I do enjoy it, and I'm quite happy to sit down and spend time doing it. But there's certainly no training there. No.
Oh, brilliant. Well, Claire, thank you. And here's to your ongoing success with it. And thank you
Rich.
for spending the time. I really appreciate it. And we'll watch this space. See you soon.
See you soon.